All right, thank you so much for joining us for our webinar, What Does Your Health Story Say About You Investing in Personal Health Through All of Us? I did just want to remind everybody that this webinar is being recorded and the recording will be available after the webinar. We will be sending that to you via email in case you've missed it or you'd like to rewatch. Again, thank you so much for joining us. We have a great webinar planned for you today, just talking about all of the personal health benefits of joining the All of Us research program. I did want to introduce our panelists here. We have great partnerships with the South Texas Blood and Tissue, UT Health, and MOP. So first off, I wanted to introduce Allison Ray from the South Texas Blood and Tissue, Sandra Sivek, who is from UT Health, and then Crystal Rahilo, that is representing MOC today. So I want to pass it off to Crystal here to tell you a little bit more about the All of Us research program.
Thank you. Catherine, I don't see the slide change. Do you mind changing it for
Yes,
me?
I will. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, hello, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. I want to just give you a brief kind of history of the All of Us program. The All of Us research program is a national effort that aims to build the largest and most diverse database of health information of its kind that researchers can use to study health and illness. It was launched nationally in May of 2018. People who join share information about their health, habits, and where it's like where they live. They do this by answering online surveys and donating blood, urine, or saliva samples. By looking for patterns in this information, researchers may learn more about what affects people's health. And we can go to the next one. So some of the benefits that you'll see in joining the All of Us program. Through the program, participants will get information about their health, including DNA results they can discuss with genetic counselors, which is made available free through this program. Your DNA report can also unlock some things that you didn't even know about yourself, like what foods you may have aversions to, or the reasons you find yourself cleaning your ears more than usual. Also, another benefit of joining the All of Us program is learning where you come from. Participants who consent to sharing their electronic health records and submitting a biosample will get a free ancestry report. The All of Us research program also encourages sharing information about your fitness habits, tracking your Fitbit data to better understand the relationship between fitness and health, and you may even qualify to receive a Fitbit of your own through the program. So as you can see some of the points that I discussed. You get the personalized health and related DNA report, access to a genetic counselor. You learn more about your genetic makeup through the program. You get an ancestry report, and you get the tracking of your health through a Fitbit, and then you store medical data, and you were able to have access all in one place. So it's really critical information and important benefits that you get for yourself as well through the program. And we'll move on to the next slide. So achieving precise medicine for all, one participant at a time. The best part is that your contributions go towards research designed to create precision medicine that benefits everyone, no matter your race, ethnicity, gender, religion, lifestyle, or preferences. Research could reflect all of us. More than 765,000 people have already shared their health information with the program, and more than 500,000 have completed their initial first steps. By submitting samples and consenting to share electronic health records, more than 100,000 participants have received DNA results, leading to better understanding their health risks for certain diseases. Now you can do the same by joining All of Us, and today you'll learn more information on how you can do so. I'm going to hand it back to our moderator, Catherine.
Thank you so much, Crystal, for going through that. I wanted to talk a little bit with you all today about the safety and security of your information when you choose to participate in the All of Us research program. So in a digital world, it's difficult to know where your data goes, what it's being used for. You might really second guess providing your email to a cashier for a rewards program or putting in your credit card information online to make a purchase. Um, and fear that some of the information you might, provide might end up in the wrong hands. You always take that risk when you give that personal information. Those concerns are totally valid, and we want to ensure that you feel comfortable sharing your data as part of becoming, we want to make sure that you're an informed participant. Much of what we'll be sharing today will be in the consent forms you'll sign when you sign up. We also want to remind you that your participation in the program doesn't necessarily hinge on this data, but consenting to provide it doesn't mean you have to. Some of you might not have access to your electronic health records. Others might not even have electronic health records. That's totally understandable. But providing these records is, the only way that you can really unlock those benefits. Again, you don't have to provide them, but you just need to consent to them. That's the only way you're going to get, your DNA report and your genetic ancestry report. So it's really important to have those. And of course, you'll need to provide your blood sample after that, but that consent is a really important first step in being able to unlock those benefits. So I did want to go over the safety and security of your data. And to do that, we have a quick video we'd like to share with you.
If you join the All of Us research program, you'll share information about yourself for medical research. The program only works because of you. All of Us collects many types of health information. Our goal is to build one of the most diverse health databases in history. Keeping your information safe is as important as the research that we do. The first step is storing it in a way that's secure and private. Before All of Us uses your information for research, it is de-identified. That means we store your name, address, and anything else that can identify you separately from your health information. Everything is also encrypted or turned into a secret code. Security experts test the system often. They make sure it's updated with the latest protections. If you provide biosamples, like blood or urine, they go to a secure storage lab at Mayo Clinic. They're labeled with a code, never your name. All of Us will use your samples and health information for medical research. Only the staff that need it have access to connect your data back to you. There are legal protections for participants too. All of Us has certificates of confidentiality from the US government. These will help us fight legal demands, such as a subpoena or a request from federal, state, or local law enforcement to give out information that could identify you. After All of Us safely stores your information, the next step is for scientists to use it to make medical discoveries. At this stage, too, the program has safeguards in place to make sure scientists use the data responsibly. Scientists view data using the Research Hub, a secure online database. In the Research Hub, your information joins that of many other people. More data means more discoveries. To see more than the most basic data, researchers register with All of Us. They complete training in how to protect you and sign an agreement that they'll never try to find out who you are. Only registered researchers can apply to use the biosamples. If they're approved, they'll receive a small amount labeled with a code. Researchers follow strict rules while they work. If they break them, they can no longer see the data. They may also face other penalties, depending on where they get their funding and how serious the violation of the rules. Even though your identity is private, you can see who the researchers are and what exciting topics they're working on. This video covers just some of the ways All of Us protects you. To learn more, visit joinallofus.org.
I am a primary care physician. I'm frustrated and it is not what I signed up for.
All right. With a great video. very informative, and I know that's a lot of information to take in. Feel free to drop some questions in the Q&A box there, and we will try and get to them during our Q&A towards the end of our webinar today. Feel free to ask your safety and security questions, or just, drop your questions in as we go along, because there's a lot to take in. But right now, I want to pass it off to Allison, who is going to tell us a little bit more about those benefits and give us a guided tour of the portal, highlighting all these benefits and fun quirks that are available to you when you sign up for the All of Us research program. Allison?
Thanks so much, Catherine. So today, like Catherine mentioned, I just want to give you guys kind of a sneak peek into what being a participant looks like in the All of Us research program. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that you guys can kind of see, like I said, a sneak peek into what you get in your All of Us research program portal. So it is important to note before I get started that each person that joins the program has a unique participant portal. It's going to look something like this. You must always log in to see your information, and no one else can see this data except for you. Like Catherine mentioned, it is private and protected, and all of that information remains private and protected. So basically, this portal is your hub for all things related to the program. You can schedule your biosample appointment here, you can view your return of results, and you can even explore some fun game-like activities. And then over time, what is in here may grow. So make sure you check back every once in a while and see what's going on new with the program. Maybe there are other opportunities to participate or take part in. So I'm just going to go through the portal. Right now we're in the dashboard, and you can see right up top here, we have our program opportunities. So this is kind of your list of any pending consents or surveys that might need your attention, and we'll touch on that a little bit later. And then up next on the portal is our highlighted activities. And so this first one is called Exploring the Mind. And okay, perfect. Exploring the Mind is something like it's a bunch of different games, and so it's meant to challenge your thinking. So I'm going to give you a little look into what this means. And what the purpose of these games are that they're meant to help researchers learn more about behavior and how the brain works, and they test things like attention span, decision making, response time and accuracy, and your ability to recognize emotions. So I would like to just hop onto one of these games to show you. The one I'm going to show is the Now or Later game. And so I'll just hit start here. And so in this activity, you are asked to select if you'd rather have some amount of money right away or a different amount of money later. For example, would you rather have $5 now or $1,000 in 5 minutes? With that one, for me, I'm like, I'll wait the 5 minutes for the $1,000. But they continue asking these questions, and you actually get asked them 28 times. But each time, the amount of money or the time you would get the money would be different. So that changes. And then at the end of the game, your results will tell you what your discounting time is, or how long it takes money to lose half its value to you. So for example, one result could be you feel that getting $500 right now is just as good as getting $1,000 in 13 months. So that 13 months, that changes for each person. So it's just really interesting to kind of take part in those games. And there's lots of different ones, so explore those. Up next is our Fitbit data. So Fitbit data, you can actually link your Fitbit data here if you have a Fitbit. And this just gives researchers more rich information to add to basically your profile. And then even in some cases, there might be an option for the program to provide a Fitbit to you. So hop on there, check out that section and see what's available to you. Up next, I'm going to go over my favorite tab in the portal, which is the My Data tab, because it's all about me. So this is all about each individual participant. You have a section on the measurements that were collected during your All of Us visit. And then the next section, which I think has the most information, is the DNA results. So this is where you're able to decide if you want your DNA results and where you can view those results when they are available. Quick disclaimer, You can only receive results after you give biosamples. You can opt in or out of each section of the results, and it does take time to receive these results. And then lastly, all of these results are research results, so any findings should be confirmed with a clinical test. All right, so diving into some of the results, there are different sections here on results, and I'm actually going to start at the bottom and work our way up. So we're going to start with these 4 results at the very bottom, and these are your genetic traits. I like to call them the fun traits because they're just kind of fun to know. The 4 genetic traits that are available to participants right now are bitter taste perception, cilantro preference, earwax type, and lactose intolerance. Over time, we may actually add more traits to this list. Some possible, but not guaranteed ones might include whether you're naturally a night owl or an early bird, how much mosquitoes like to bite you, they like me, and whether sunlight makes you sneeze. So just to explore these results a little bit, I'm gonna click into the cilantro preference. Did you know that some people think cilantro tastes like soap? And did you know that your genes actually play a factor in this? So it's not just I like this or I don't like this. Your genes actually might have a part in that. So you can see these results. You have a slightly higher chance of disliking cilantro. You can also scroll down and see some, fun information. It actually tells you what gene or DNA marker was tested, your results right here, and kind of some of the science behind why your genes impact whether or not you like cilantro. So, like I said, those are just kind of some fun results that you can explore. Next up is going to be our genetic ancestry, and most people are pretty familiar with the idea of this because there are some commercial kits out that test things like genetic ancestry, but this can show participants where their ancestors may have lived hundreds of years ago. So let's click into these results. You'll actually see a breakdown of your genetic ancestry by percentages, and you'll be able to visualize that on the map here to the left. You can also look at all of the different groups that are tested, and these may grow and evolve over time as more information is gathered. And then additionally, you can scroll down to just see more information about your ancestry groups, how genetic ancestry is calculated, some of like the science behind that, and more. Yeah, there's just lots more information down here. And as a reminder, this is all provided at no cost to you as a participant. So I think it's just a really great benefit of the program. The next 2 results are both health-related results. So we'll look at these 2. I do want to preface this with some people may be more hesitant to receive these results and maybe may not even want the results. So you can opt in or opt out of these results. First up is the medicine and DNA report. So we'll go ahead and just take a look at one of those reports. And I actually didn't know this, but some genetic variants cause your body to process a medication more slowly or more quickly than the average person. This may mean that you need less or more of a medication, or that it stays in your body longer or leave your body faster. So whenever I'm looking at this report, it takes me a little bit more time to review and understand. But basically what the report tells you, we'll scroll down a little bit, is it will show you your results. So it shows the gene that was tested, what version of the gene you have, and what that means. And so these are just gene related. So it may not tell you functionality, a lot of how that impacts you or might impact you. But if you scroll down to the bottom, you can actually see DNA and medication. And so this is going to point out some of the medications that might actually be affected by the results that you see above. So you can see that these are the medications listed on this report. It always is important to remember that results from the All of Us research program are research results. So, and genetics alone does not determine whether a medication is appropriate for someone. There are obviously other things that go into that. And it can also go over next steps if you do want to share this report with your doctor. All right, so that'll wrap up the medicine in your DNA section. Last up in the DNA results is the hereditary disease risk results. So genetic variants or differences in your DNA can be hereditary. Some can affect your health. People who have certain genetic variants may have a higher risk of getting a disease than the average person. If you decide to get your hereditary disease risk results, we'll check your DNA for a list of genetic variants. All the conditions checked for do have treatment or preventative options. Knowing if you're at a higher risk for these conditions can be important to your health. So I'm going to go ahead and open up these results here, and you can see your results right here at the top. So you'll see your immediate results there. And then you can scroll down and learn a bit more. We can look at the genes that are looked at as part of this report. So most of these are associated with different types of cancers, heart disorders, high cholesterol, blood vessel disorders, and others. And also, if you have more questions about your results, you can actually talk to an All of Us genetic counselor through the program. It's available to you at no charge. And then also, if the program finds that you have a hereditary risk for a condition, a clinical test will actually be provided to you at no charge. So I think that's huge. The program really wants to provide that to participants. All right, and that'll wrap up our DNA results section of the portal. And next we will, if this loads, hopefully, we'll look at some other sections here. So health records, this is how you can actually link your electronic health records to the program, and you can actually view all your health records in one place if you're able to link them, which many participants have said is a huge advantage to them. We also want to note that not everyone has access to your electronic health records, or maybe, you know, the physician that you use isn't in this list. So we know that and we understand that not everyone has health records linked here. Next up is the personality results, and I think this one's kind of fun as well. So using some results from your surveys, there's actually a report on your personality. So 5 different things are assessed in this report: your openness to experience, your conscientiousness, your extroversion, your agreeableness, and your emotional resilience. And then each of those are kind of shown on a scale and where you lie on that scale. So there's the extroversion one, the agreeableness, and the emotional resilience. And then next up, we have some results of the Exploring the Mind game. So like I said, you can actually see your results from some of those games. And then the surveys, you can actually click into these surveys. You can see results and how you answered these surveys, and then you can compare your results to other folks. So is my answer the same as most of the population on this question, or is my answer, more rare? All right, so that is all of my data and probably the biggest chunk of what I will cover today. I think it's important to note that the program is committed to the return of value to each of the participants. So this My Data section of the portal was created just for you, and it's all about you, which is really cool. So some other things that we can look at here there's the agreement section. So you can view all of your agreements and you can manage or change your authorizations at any time. So these are all the consents to participate, and you can manage that, change your answers here, or you can always withdraw from the program. The program is voluntary and you can change your mind at any time. Next up is just the settings section. So this is where you go to review or update your information, withdraw for the program, or update your communication preferences. And then some other things I'll just quickly go over. There's a notifications tab where you get all your notifications for the program. There's ways to link or share your data under the Share Your Data tab. There are some insights, some things that are learned from the program here. We also have the appointments tab, which I think is important to note. So after you have completed the initial steps of the program, you will become eligible for a physical measurements and biosample visit. And this is something we offer at South Texas Blood and Tissue. So you can come visit us, but there are also ways just to schedule your appointment through the portal. So we'll click into this, and using the address that you have on file with the program will actually show any biosample collection centers near you. So you can also kind of, if maybe your address doesn't match where you're living or want to look, you can search in different areas for different opportunities here. But specifically, if you do come to South Texas Blood and Tissue for your biosample collection, there's a few pre-screening questions here. You just give us a call at this number and we'll get you on the schedule. All right. And then a few other things to point out here are our Learning Center. And this is just where you can click around and take some time to learn more. There's a support tab. There's this chat button here that you always have someone to chat with if you have questions during this process. All right, that was a ton of information, but as a reminder, all of the data that is shared has any identifying markers removed, so it doesn't distinguish when your data is used in research. All of this is 100% free. And like I mentioned, I think the return of value to participants is one of the biggest benefits to the program. And it just shows how much the program values each of you as participants. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing now. And so now the big question is anyone interested in joining the program and getting to take advantage of some of these great benefits? And to take us through that, I will pass it off to Sandra.
Good morning, everyone. I am so happy to be here with you all and to guide you through the process of enrollment that I actually went through, I guess, relatively recently. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, but I want you all to look at the QR codes on the screen. These will take you to our website, and then I will also share the links in the chat so that you can copy and paste them into your browser if you would like to follow along with the registration portion. So I'll give you a couple of, or some time to go ahead and get that into the browser while I pull up my screen. Okay. So right here, if you were to scan the QR code or copy and paste the link into the browser, this is what you would see. This is the All of Us homepage. And I'm just going to move this thing out of my way. All right. So the first thing you would do is click sign up today. And then from sign up today, you will land on, oh, I see a hand is raised.
We aren't going to be able to hear you because of the webinar settings. So if you'd like to, please feel free to drop any questions you have in the Q&A box or the chat.
Okay. Alrighty, so this is where you'll land should you go ahead and select the log.
Oh, I think you went on mute, Sandra.
Okay, I did. Alrighty, so this is where you will land, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pause the share because I want to kind of give you a better idea of exactly where to start. All right, so I'm gonna share that. Okay. All right. Okay, so here we are. And I'm going to go ahead and log in. And then we are in the testing environment. So that's why there's that message there. You will not see that message. Okie dokie. So I just kind of want to go over the consents that you'll see at the beginning of your registration. So here I've partially started the consents. And then we're just going to see a few of the prompts. And so this is just like to check the understanding. Okay, so this, it looks like I have progressed a good amount. So I'm going to go a little further back for you all. Okay, so this is where we began. And alrighty. And we just want to emphasize that the consent process is very important. And if you have any questions, should there be something that you're uncertain of, we invite you to ask for help, ask for guidance. We definitely want you to be certain in your decision to participate. Alrighty, and then so here's just some of the general questions that the program starts off with. And so you just indicate what exactly applies to you, and then that way the return information is more specific to the individual or the participant based off the responses provided. And then so this, like this particular question here, then your age. And then there's also the checking your understanding. We definitely want to make sure that whenever you go through the process, that you have a good idea of what it is you are agreeing to and what's to come. And then keeping in touch. So the All of Us program will use your contact information that's provided whenever you register as a participant to reach out to you with new opportunities available within the program. Should there be additional surveys that may apply to you, or initiatives that the program has implemented and that are taking place within your region or the area that you live, they would like to be able to know, like, okay, well, this would apply to this person right here. So let's go ahead and send this information.
Hey, Sandra, I'm going to have you pause really quick. I'm just getting a comment come in that we're stuck on the main page. So I'm not sure they can see exactly where you're at.
Oh, okay.
It's on the create account page.
It's on the create account page?
Yes.
Oh.
Give us just 1 second.
Okay. Okie dokie. Okay, so are we looking at the right page? Okay,
Yes,
my
that looks correct.
apologies, everyone. So once you've already entered into the site and you've registered as a participant, or you've registered for your specific participant page, you go through. Okay, so this is what you'll see here. This additional information, and then the keeping in touch, why it's important for these videos here, explain why it's important to have this information, and how exactly it's going to be used to contact you. And then whenever we get to the health records, this is just to get a clear understanding of what factors are impacting our health. The program asks for permission to access electronic health records. This step is completely voluntary, but I do want to remind participants that the level of information that's returned to us as participants is dependent on what information we actually do share with the program. And then physical measurements. So whenever, I'm not sure why it says, okay, so the video would exist on your specific page. It's just because I'm on the testing page. That's why you're seeing that. But so basically what you would do for the physical measurements is just weight, height, and the hip to waist ratio circumference. Then let's see, we'll go ahead and continue.
Hey, Sandra, I was wondering, we had a wonderful question put in the chat that I was hoping you could address while we are going through this. It says, all of us, it mentions that all of us does not have control over how third parties use your information. And she was hoping that you could possibly address this a little bit. So, just kind of let her know what's going on with that and addressing that so she can continue on with the process.
Okay, so whenever we are referring to the third party usage of the information, these are the researchers, I'm assuming. And everything is de-identified. As Allison was explaining, privacy is very valued with all research. And the de-identification process, essentially what that does is it removes personal information that could be tied back to you. And so and you're anonymous throughout your participation, and beyond that, it's your name is not included. These things are not provided to these third parties. It's essentially just the health information minus identifying information. I hope that was clear.
So just to reiterate, Sandra, so you're saying that all of my identifying information is going to be discluded, but we're not going to really know how that information is necessarily being used in research.
Exactly.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Of course. Thank you for the question. That was a good point to bring up and very important. So here in so for samples, all that's requested at this point, and this would be done at the blood bank or by blood bank staff, is our blood samples, a urine sample, and maybe a saliva sample. The saliva sample is not for everyone, and that's something that I do want to mention. It's not all three. It's a combination. And then the fitness tracker, this is something else that we've included information in for the participants. So if you watch this video, it kind of gives you a better idea of what information you get from the fitness trackers and how you can tie your activity to the program. And if you have like a tracking device, like on your Apple Watch or something like that, that's something too that can also be tied back to the program, just to get to know a little bit more about yourself and your activity, your habits as far as activity. Okay. And then this helps researchers understand how activity impacts our health. And scientists, they need to be thorough, and they may rely on additional data to make medical discoveries. So I do just kind of want to let you all know that you have the option. We invite you, we recommend that you watch the videos, but there's also a transcript. So you don't have to watch all of the videos if you prefer reading. And so what will be done with your data and samples? That's what this section covers right here. But basically, the section just provides an overview of how researchers will responsibly use your health data and your samples. So for that question that we had earlier, this would be a great place to get more clarification on that. And then data sharing. So the program will use the data that's collected to create a scientific database for research purposes, so that researchers can use to identify specific obstacles that are within our control so that we can improve general health overall. And then, so potential benefits and risks. Okay. So here are some of the benefits listed. I was written out here for you all to see. But just taking part in a program like this, it helps give us that peace of mind that we're doing our part to help future generations, our kids, our grandkids. And it's also really cool to know that we can have access to our information, because I know that it's not really easy to see your health information with having your medical record. And some people are curious to know what exactly is out there, or what additional information is out there to tell us or to guide us into making more health conscious decisions. And I cannot say that the program has absolutely no risk, although they are very minimal. This is something that is going to be covered within the registration process and the consent process, because we definitely do want you all to know what possibility or what could happen, because we just cannot guarantee that there's absolute that no breaches of confidentiality will happen. Although there are safeguards in place, it's not something that researchers can guarantee. But you will be notified. That's one of the things too. You will be notified should something occur. And then for the research results, I really don't. Okay. Alrighty, and then so the results, there are two kinds of results. So the results about you and the results about the group. And so here's just additional information that will be covered in this section. I do not want to just play the video for you all. I definitely want to give you autonomy here and let you all do this whenever you are going through this process. So there are some instances where the DNA results cannot be offered or cannot be returned. These are here, and we just want to put that or address that right off the bat. Like, hey guys, this has happened in the past, so it may not be guaranteed that you'll get your DNA results returned to you. This is unlikely, but it has happened, which is why it's listed here. And then seeing your data. Okay. So as Allison was showing everybody, you can see the data that was collected. And remember that your level of participation really does determine output, what you receive back from the program. So like including those fitness trackers, that would be something else that would be shown or shared with you. And then just as a little reminder, the All of Us program should not be considered medical care. If anything, it should just be an eye opener and maybe a driver to go and talk to your physician should you see something out of the ordinary. And you get to choose. Don't ever feel pressured into participating in any research study, including All of Us. This needs to be something that you want to do and you're comfortable doing. And if you do decide to participate and then figure out later on, oh, you know what, I just don't want to do it anymore, that's okay. You can just go ahead and withdraw. You can withdraw on, you can always click on the little chat box on the website and then let them know that you are interested in withdrawing. However, I do want to mention that the data that was collected, it would be, because of the whole de-identification process, it would be really hard to retrieve and stop any research that's being done on that data that's collected already. And then we encourage everybody, if there's any uncertainty going through these consents, review the consents again and take as much time as you need. And so there's like that little option too there that invites you to review the material again. And then we reach the section where it's check your understanding. Fortunately, I already clicked everything, but basically what we're doing here is we're just making sure that we know exactly what we understand, what material we just went through, and that we didn't just skim through it. Okay. And then I really like how you have the option of communicating with its staff from the program here at the bottom. So you can email them directly, you can call them, and then there's that chat function there should you go through this and then just really, you know, and something's just unclear. And then you bringing those things up that are unclear are really important too, because then it gives us an idea of what more needs to be addressed during this process. And then here's the consent form. And just go through all of this material here. And please excuse me just skimming through it. But it's basically everything that we have gone through already in the previous sections. And then, so then once we reach this part right here, I do want to mention that it is okay to reach out to the program if you would like that for somebody from the program to go through the consent form with you. And if that is the case, then you would go ahead and indicate that this little checkbox right here. And then let's see, and then just continue. See. And then you would type, well, you can draw. I recommend typing because typing is so much easier to control unless you're really good with your stylus or your finger. Not sure which one you use. And then this section right here, someone from All of Us helped me with this consent. Oh, my apologies. I just want to correct what I said earlier. So this section right here is, yes, you understand everything that's within this document. And then this right here would be in the case that somebody did help you with the whole consent form. You definitely do want to indicate that. And then also you can get an email of the consent form, which would be very useful. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing this and then I'm going to go ahead and show you all once I get out of here. Okay. And then let's see, because I do kind of want to go over the consent to share electronic health records. All right, so I have that. Okay, and then if y'all could let me know if my pages are, oh, they're no longer up. Okay. Alrighty, so it looks like this is going to take me, okay, there was a hiccup. I'm going to try to log back into the specific page that I had open.
Yeah, Sandra, while you're doing that, I would love to spend a little bit of time answering some of the amazing questions we got in the chat, just, so we make the best use of our time here.
Perfect.
One of the things that I wanted to kind of ask and throw out there to our panelists, so feel free to jump in while Sandra is finding the page and getting logged in. It's always a hassle to do that no matter what program or app you're using. I wanted to ask about what the criteria is for participating and can children participate in the program?
I can go ahead and take that question, Catherine. I think this is a great question. So the program initially launched with those individuals only 18 and older. So the age of consent generally is 18 years old. So anyone that is 18 years or older and that is residing in the United States. So as long as you are living in the US and you are over the age of 18 years old and you're not currently imprisoned, you're able to join the program. Now, the program does have an initiative to expand their age criteria to allow children to participate. So they are in the pilot stages and development stages of working through children to be able to participate. But right now it is primarily 18 and older.
Thank you so much, Allison. And just kind of piggybacking off of that, I know that not everybody has a social security number for one reason or another. Do you have to have a social security number in order to participate?
So no, you do not have to have a social security number to participate. There's an option to add that during your registration process, but it is not required.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, I'm sorry about that hiccup. It's as if it just timed out. So I wanted to go ahead and okay, just to confirm before I continue, can you all see my dashboard? Yes. Okay, awesome. Alrighty. So once you have consented and once you've provided the contact information for the program to use to reach out to you in the future, we will go ahead and what will follow are the program opportunities. So authorization to share electronic health records is the next consent that we see. And so let's see. And this is just optional. This isn't something that you have to do. And you can leave at any point. during this process, and just come back whenever you're ready and the progress will be saved. So just continue here, and then it kind of gives you like a brief introduction as to what electronic health records are, and then the information that's included in here. So it's pretty useful information. And then after this is whenever you will see the I'm gonna get out of here real quick. I guess it's not gonna let me get out of here. Okay, that's okay. I'm gonna go back to my dashboard. And then we can also, and then after this, once you've completed the authorization to share electronic health records, then there is a consent section for you to receive the DNA results. Okay, and then after all of this has been completed, this is when you would be getting in touch with the blood bank to schedule the sample collection. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and pass this on over back to you, Catherine.
Thank you so much. Real quick, I wanted to open the floor up to Allison. If there were anything you wanted to mention as far as making your biosample appointment.
Yeah, so you once you have completed the consents and the basic survey on your program overview, you can you're eligible to schedule your biosample appointment. So we do have a location here in San Antonio, South Texas Blood and Tissue, where you can come and donate your blood and urine samples, as well as get your physical measurements. There is a phone number on the scheduling app through the portal on where to contact us, but I'll go ahead and throw that in the chat as well, so you have that easy to reference.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And then another question I want to ask, just kind of on the same lines of the biosample appointment, because I know everybody's probably wondering, what can I expect when I go in for my biosample appointment? How much blood are you going to take? Are you going to take all of it? Like, what are you going to leave me with?
Yeah, definitely. And so during your biosample appointment, you would come to one of our locations, or hopefully in the near future, we'll be able to come out into the community to do this type of collection. But right now you come in and you have physical measurements. So that includes heart rate, blood pressure, potentially your hip and waist circumference, as well as height and weight. And then we draw a bit of blood. It is not a whole bag of blood. It's a few tubes of blood. So we're looking at 8 to 9 tubes of various sizes. And then it also includes a urine sample if you're able to give that. Once you give those, we ship them off for the program, and that kind of ends your participation for that day. So it takes about 30 minutes in total. If you are an avid blood donor as well, you can actually do this in conjunction with a blood donation. We can collect that all from a single stick instead of multiple draws if you are a blood donation.
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much, Allison. And I had another question just come from the chat. Yes, we will be sending the link for registration to all of our attendees, including the ones who could not attend, in a follow-up email, as well as giving you the link to this webinar, which is still being recorded right now. And just back to the biosample appointment, if I don't want to give blood, I'm a little squeamish about giving blood. Is there an alternative I can do so I can take advantage of those benefits and still give my biosample?
Good question, Catherine. So yes, there is another option to give a saliva sample instead of a blood sample. So you will see that option through your portal. And with a saliva sample, you can actually have that shipped to your house. You basically spit in a little tube and ship it back to the program. Now, as far as quality goes, we prefer blood samples over that saliva sample, but we understand that saliva sample is a great option as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Allison. And now I have another question coming in through the chat. It's a great question, and I want to pass it off to Sandra. What is the overall timeline of full participation?
Oh, this is a good question. So the full timeline is 10 years. And throughout this process, you will be receiving invitations to complete different surveys or opportunities to participate in different activities where it's like for instance, the Fitbit, just to kind of monitor exactly how your activity level compares to those of those in the same population or the same region. So yeah, about 10 years.
And just to reiterate, Sandra, this participation in this is completely free. You guys aren't going to be hitting me up for money.
Absolutely not, no.
So I also wanted to ask just kind of about expectation as far as return of value goes. How long is it going to be from the point that I give my biosample to me getting some of those return of benefits? I'm really anxious to figure out what my DNA report is going to say about my medications, whether it's going to tell me whether I think cilantro tastes like soap. I want to be able to experience all that. How long does that normally take from the point where you get your biosample to that return of investment?
So I want to speak pretty candidly here. It does take a while for some individuals. I have seen the return of results vary from 2 months to a year, maybe a little over a year. For example, I did my biosample back in March, and this is really weird, but I just received my results yesterday. So that's something to consider, but again, it doesn't apply to everybody. And then you're also getting the information back to you in pieces. It's not all aggregated at one time. So you'll be getting a notification through your email like, hey, there's been an update. And then you just go ahead and look in your specific portal and to see exactly what information is available to you.
Perfect. And I know a lot of the times it costs money to do some of these biosamples to get your ancestry report, 23andMe and ancestry.com. What's the difference between what I get with, those particular, programs versus the All of Us research program? And then real quick too, I also want to throw out another question. Is there any compensation for participating?
Yeah, I can take that one, definitely. So when you do come into a location to have your physical measurements and your biosample collection, you do get a $25 gift card for your time and travel for that.
That's all the other benefits of getting your DNA and, all the other health information that you receive is also, I think, added compensation.
Yeah, I think it definitely pays for itself. And then just again, kind of reiterate too, so I do the participation with the online questionnaires, and sorry, I'm trying to read this question off. So it says, just to be clear, everything of participation is online questionnaires except for the bios.
Yeah, so everything is done online, except for that in-person visit for a blood and urine sample, as well as physical measurements. And online you have those consents, you have surveys, you have other game-like activities that you can participate in, and any other sharing of information.
Perfect. Thank you. And I believe we are out of time, and I know that there's probably a lot more questions everybody has. So I'm going to throw up a slide here if I can share my screen again. Just kind of with some of our information here in case you do have some of those questions. And just a reminder again is you do have that chat function. You do have the ability to call that hotline to kind of ask your questions and have somebody help guide you through the process. You don't have to necessarily do this alone because I know it's a lot of information to take in. But feel free to contact us with any questions as well as the team over at the All of Us research program. Again, I wanted to thank you again for being here, and we look forward to seeing you at your biosample appointment. And one quick reminder, we did record this webinar. You will be receiving a copy of it please, email me right here. Copy down my email. It's Wilson, C5@utesca.edu. And I'll be more than happy to provide a copy of the slideshow that was shown today. Thanks, everybody.